The answer to that, there's no answer. See, Americans want answers. The whole point of the movie, the guy made a Buddhist knot, and he relies on the inability of human nature to just settle. David Chase did the same thing. He wouldn't tie it up in a nice little bow. I grew up on, we grew up on welfare when my father had his heart attack. But we lived in a low housing project, and it was a very diverse neighborhood. Where we lived in the projects, you had to get along. If you didn't get along, you didn't survive. And nobody was judged by our race or the color of our skin. We were judged on if you were stand up. If you lived in the neighborhood and you could be trusted, and if I borrowed money and I paid it back, and it didn't matter, or somebody else did, they knew that this was a family that could be trusted, and they knew that this was a family that couldn't be trusted. And our family was a family that couldn't be trusted. My mother, we were a family of diseases. My father was a degenerate gambler. My mother was a degenerate gambler, and 4 packs of cigarettes a day. My stepfather was in and out of prison. That's also, high-risk behavior. It's another disease. So we were just a family of disorders. And, acting is lying. We all lie. Legal. Yeah, I get paid. Somebody asked me that the other day, and I realized that it's through acting. It's only when I'm working in a movie or a play that I actually know who I am. Because the author has told me who I am. I can find out who I am based on what the author gives the other character to say about me. And, like Ralphie, I always went against the grain. I tried to make Ralph the nicest, funniest guy I could, because his behavior, the stuff that he did, was just so vile. So if I could make him as sweet as pie, everything that would come out of him would be even, I guess he was the guy. I played a lot of characters who were guys that you love to hate. And I think that Ralphie eventually was the guy that you hated to love. He's a guy that you wanted him dead, but he made you laugh. And then when they killed him, everybody went, "What the hell happened? I can't believe they killed him." Which is, David Chase and that whole Caesar thing. With Ralph's, what's the word I'm looking for? Obsession with the gladiator. And Russell Crowe and that movie, The Gladiator, and him, going around and watching Kirk Douglas and being furious at a guy with, flat tops. They didn't have flat tops in ancient Rome. And then, then there was that war. These two guys, he died the death of a gladiator because that was a fight to the death. And, and a lot of people, your average soprano bloodsucker, would say that Ralphie was whacked by Tony Soprano. Not true. That Ralphie killed the horse. Not true. What David Chase was saying. But here's a guy that should have been killed for killing a woman, and was given a pass. And then he was killed over, a horse, while his son was, dying in a hospital. He was outraged, and he stood up to Tony. Tony snapped. Tony was going to kill Johnny Sack the week before, because Ralphie was such a great error, and Johnny wanted to kill Ralph. And then, and what does that make Tony? Why is it that everybody loves Tony Soprano? When he killed he killed men. He was responsible for the death of women. What is it about our culture that loves blood so much? The biggest criticism that I would hear on that show was, they're not killing enough people. We are We are a violent society, and I think we will eventually die by our own sword. The culture that I live in, I'm 57 years old. In the last 50 years, I've been told what to be attracted to, what to wear, what to eat. You know, I'm manipulated every day, and my kids are manipulated too by what they watch on television. And, you know, I'm just as guilty. I use that TV set like a pacifier like the rest of the world. But, you know, I've been able to do what I love to do, which is, you know, make people laugh and make them